Hello YouTube. It is 12:15 p.m. and I forgot the date just like that. I think it's September 7th. Yeah, Saturday, September 7th, 2024. And I'm on my way to work another shift at a Circle K through a Shift Smart. I'm going to the one at 40th Street and Thunderbird. And I don't know if I've ever shopped at that particular Circle K. 40th Street and Thunderbird isn't an intersection that I find myself at hardly ever. Now, I haven't actually checked the bus schedule to see how long it's going to take me to get there. I don't have to be there for an hour and 45 minutes, so I'm not even remotely stressing on whether I'm going to get there on time. In fact, I'm a little nervous I might end up getting there ridiculously early and not have any place comfortable to wait in air conditioning before my shift starts. But I'll deal with that issue should it happen when I get there. So, yeah, I didn't check the bus scheduling, but it is a Saturday schedule, so less frequent buses today. The trip's going to be super easy, though. It's north on the Route 44, which I believe on Saturday just runs every 30 minutes. I'm not sure the times it shows up, so I could be setting myself up for sitting in the heat for 45 minutes, waiting for 35 minutes waiting for the bus. Also, the 44 is notorious for not showing up on time, so, and not showing up, so I don't know. Let's see how that is. At this point, I can't even rely on when the bus says that a bus is scheduled and not running late or not running on time, because there's been so much failure with the bus tracking system. I found I can't even really count on that as an indication that the bus isn't going to arrive, so all I can do is just kind of sit and wait and hope for the best. So far, since I've been back to relying on the bus, I've got everywhere that I've needed to be for work on time, other than I went to the wrong Circle K on my first day of being back to being a pedestrian. On that note, how many days has it been? I gotta think about that. Let's see. Tuesday was day number 1, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Today is Saturday, so day 5 of being a pedestrian. By the way, what did I do last night? Not a damn thing. After I finished shooting 30 minutes of pointless video, I just laid in bed and listened to YouTube and went to sleep early. I had contemplated going to see Dusty Slay, and of course that wasn't happening because I can't afford that. I had contemplated going over to the Wander Inn and possibly singing karaoke with a so-called girlfriend, but the previous night with her was just overall so unpleasant that the thought of spending time with her just held absolutely no appeal at all. So, yeah, my bed was comfortable, so that's pretty much where I spent my whole time, doing nothing. Relaxing, being comfortable, being thankful that I do have a comfortable bed to go to and a comfortable air-conditioned apartment. Oh, which reminds me, I didn't raise the thermostat when I left. So the cats are getting to enjoy 75 or 76 degrees all night. Oh, well. I'm not doubling back to handle it now. One thing I did do after finishing that video was make some effort. So this guy's going to stop where he's supposed to. Make some effort to find out what my options are to go to that job at the box company that starts Monday after next. And yeah, there's no buses that really go right next to it. Like the 66 gets me within a mile, and the first bus would have me to work. Well, it would have me stepping off the bus an hour late for work, and I still have a mile to walk. The other buses that run near there there's the 156 that goes down Chandler Boulevard. I think it's the 156. Doesn't go anywhere near here. That bus here, where I'd be getting off, is about the closest it gets to here. From there, it just goes straight east into downtown Chandler, and then I think it goes farther east than that. I'm not sure. I didn't really look that far. I just determined it went completely in the wrong direction and was not an option. There are a few other buses that run within maybe 3-4 miles of where I'm going, which of course at that point would require that I use a Waymo or some other ride-hailing service to actually get to the job location. Yeah, absolutely none of those buses get there anywhere near. That's interesting. Not sure what that sign means. It's not written in English. Welcome to Phoenix. Yeah, none of those buses get me to their nearest point, to the job location, anywhere near. Like, all of them get me to the nearest point roughly an hour after I need to be to work. So, not good. Hope y'all can see me. Just realize my left shoe is not tied very well. I don't know why I've always had a lifelong struggle with keeping my shoes functionally tight, but it's still something that to this day I struggle with. So I'm going to check right now and see how long I'll be sitting here till the next bus shows up. Looking down 44th Street to the south, and I don't see it. Starting out with 100% battery on my iPhone, that's a good thing. Shooting on the Moto, by the way. I think it doesn't really there. I don't really know why. Yeah, there goes a Waymo right there. Driving itself, I think there's somebody in the passenger seat. Taking this bus stop, see what the next bus will show up. It says 44 North Desert Ridge on time. 12:39. It's right now 12:23. So 16 minutes. I'll sit here in the heat. Speaking of sitting here in the heat, I don't know what the temperature is. For some reason, the iPhone is showing me the temperature. Where Apple is based, and it's the default setting for the iPhone that I haven't changed. Phoenix, 103, mostly sunny. Looks like the high today is 107, so yeah, it's going to be another hot day out trying to make it where I need to go without the option of driving in an air-conditioned car, which sucks. Trying to check that bus again. So 12:39 is when it's going to show up, and I'm not able to get tracking on it because it's not running yet. Buses that run this infrequently, it should just not be a thing. This is just a long time for somebody to have to sit in the heat waiting for a bus. So it looks like on Saturday afternoons it shows up at 9 after and 39 after. So yeah, I wasn't ready to go at 9 after. So whatever, I'm here for. Another 14 minutes, fun times. So anyway, yeah, I'm trying to get a bus like within 3-4 miles of that job location I have to be to Monday after next. Absolutely not happening. all of them get there an hour after the job starts. I haven't canceled the job yet. I'm still sitting on it. And I haven't tried booking the Shift Smart shifts beyond when I'm currently booked. And let me check that. That's important because they've been posting more of them since I got home. I haven't really been looking at them. Shift Smart schedule. I need to confirm today at 2 p.m. That was originally scheduled for 10 a.m. I decided to back it off until 2 p.m. so I'd have more time to just kind of be comfortable in bed. And my plan is to go from there directly to Osbar for my karaoke show tonight. Now, I don't know how long that's going to take. The shift ends at 6. I don't have to be to Oz until 8:30. I don't think it's going to take me 2.5 hours to make that journey. I do expect it'll take over an hour. But I figure if I get to Oz early, I'll just sit there and chill in the air conditioning and drink water and play with my phones. There's phone chargers there. I did remember this time finally to bring my own phone outlet charger brick thing and a lightning cable, because I know by then my iPhone will be hurting for power and the Moto should be just fine. So let's see, no Circle K Shift Smart shift scheduled for tomorrow. September 9th I have 2, September 10th I have 1, September 11th I have 2, September 12th, which is Thursday, I have 3, nothing after the 12th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for now, open. Bear in mind, next Saturday I don't have my karaoke show, so yeah, 3 days currently open. And then next Monday is supposed to be at that paper with trouble. So anyway, getting back to what I was able to find out, it looks like what I'm going to end up having to do, and this is the plan until I can maybe work something better out. The closest I can get to it, and the earliest I can get there, is if I catch the first 44 southbound. Today's the 7th, so if I look at the schedule for the 9th, I'll be looking at a Monday morning schedule. Today, tomorrow, 9/9. The first bus leaving south from here on the 44 is at 4:15 a.m. Yeah, this is not a schedule that's going to work well for me. I can feel that already. Yeah, I'm going to have to be down here at 4:15, which means I need to probably, because of how inconsistent and how likely that bus is to be running early, I probably need to leave my apartment at 4 a.m., which means I probably need to wake up at 3 a.m. Oh yeah, this is not going to work well for me. I can feel already. 3 a.m. is not a wake-up time for me. So I catch that at 4:15 a.m., take it down to the spot where all the homeless people were sleeping there at 44th Street in Washington the other day, in the morning. Day 1, I did my bus transfer, and transferred it to 32. Let me check out the schedule for the night. Not tomorrow, the night. That shows me a Monday schedule. That bus will arrive at that corner. The 44 will arrive at 4:22. Then at 4:31, first 32 arrives. 4:31, I'll have the option to, about 4:40, I'll be rolling in front of Rob's shop, which of course will be dark and locked up. Still no word from Rob. Anyway, that arrives at the closest point that I can get to, actually no, I didn't check the baseline bus to see if I can get a little closer on the baseline bus, but it looks like the closest point I can get, at least with 2 buses, to getting to that job, which is the corner of 40th Street and Baseline. I'd get there at 4:47 a.m. So roughly 4:50, I need to show up at 5:50. So that gives me an hour to get there via rideshare. And I would say that point of 40th Street and Baseline, kind of looking at the map, that's a little less than halfway there. So hopefully it'll save me some money. Now, what it's going to cost for me to ride a Waymo from there, or a Lyft or a Uber for that matter. I prefer to go with Waymo to the job location. By the way, Waymo doesn't quite come into the job location. It gets me about a quarter mile away. That map that I was looking at yesterday was not fully accurate as far as the coverage area. That showed the coverage area going all the way down to Allison Road, which is a quarter mile south of Pecos. The actual coverage map shows it going to Pecos. The coverage map in the app shows it going to Pecos Road, but I tried all picking drop-off spots on Pecos, east and west of 56th Street, also known as Priest, down there. And there was just no way to get the Waymo to drop me off at Pecos. Even if I pick a spot right on Pecos to be dropped off, it turns at the street one block north of Pecos and directs me to walk that last block. So yeah, it's not a long way. It's like every block matters when you're walking. Like when you're driving, a block is nothing, but when you're walking, every block matters. And you know, when you're looking at a 3-block walk and then you realize that last block that you should be able to get a ride, you can't get a ride, well, suddenly it's a 4-block walk. And yeah, that's time. It's time, that's effort. At least at 5 in the morning, I won't be sweating too terribly bad. It'll be dark and cooler. But anyway, that walk's not going to be so bad. It's just kind of annoying that the one map showed one thing and then the other map showed another, and then the reality of where it goes is actually not what the map shows. So kind of frustrated with that. I don't know what that journey is going to cost, and I won't know until I'm down at the corner of 40th Street and Baseline and book it. And the reason for that is that, now Waymo didn't do this when they started, but for quite some time, Waymo's been using surge pricing, the same as Lyft does, the same as Uber does, which for those who are not familiar with that, and I would assume everybody at this point is familiar with that, means that how much it costs varies depending on how much demand there is for rides. Sometimes a ride is just a few bucks, and sometimes it's a lot of money. I do remember one time I wanted to take a Waymo from the light rail station by Gateway Community College, where I had parked and my car was, and the park and ride there was with my mother last January, and I wanted to take it up to Priscilla's apartment, which is roughly 40th Street in McDowell. So we're talking a mile and a half away, if that, and they wanted $30, which is outrageous. I'd taken that ride before and it had been $6, maybe $7. So yeah, the price can vary wildly for the same ride. Now, I used to own and operate a taxi company back in the mid-1990s, early 1990s. And I also drove for several major cab companies, drove for AAA Cab and Yellow Cab, VIP Taxi. And during that time, and this is before rideshare was a thing, all livery vehicles, in other words, vehicles for hire for transportation, had to follow the rules of Arizona Departments of Weights and Measures. You had to get your meter, or if you were doing your fare based on distance, then your odometer certified, and get a sticker from the Department of Weights and Measures, and then on the outside of your vehicle, in a very certain particular format, and then also on the inside of your vehicle, also in a very particular format. Loud truck. You had to post exactly what your rates were. How much Basically, the things you had to show was your flag drop. In other words, how much, either your flag drop or how much it costs for your first mile. Flag drop being how much it costs to start your ride, where, you know, what number the meter starts at. First mile could include what it costs for a mile plus that. That's another way of posting it, making it look different. How much your per mile rate was, and then how much your wait time was. Wait time meaning if you're not moving, how much you're charging on your meter. If you were using an odometer, you weren't allowed to charge that. But if you had a taximeter, you could have it at a wait time speed, which would mean that if you dropped under a certain speed, you were getting paid by time, not mileage. And that rate had to be consistent. That's the rate you charged. That's the rate that was registered with the Department of Weights and Measures. That's what was posted on your car, in your car. And if you were found that your meter was running out of compliance with that, there were big fines involved, and you could lose your permit to operate in Arizona. It didn't matter how busy the cab company was. Now, what became a difference with how busy the cab company was is how quickly and easily you could get a cab. But as far as what you were charged for your ride, it remained the same. I don't understand how Uber, and they were the first, ever got away with not following that law. But it's a pretty whack thing, and at some point I would love to see state governments. This is something that should be legislated at the state level, or, you know, even better, federal government, although this, I think, is out of the reach of the federal government. Legislate that kind of pricing is illegal. That you need to have set prices and you need to have posted prices. Because it really bothers me that until Monday after next, when I step off that bus at 40th Street and Baseline, I have no way of knowing how much that ride to work is going to cost me. I have no way of knowing. Now, I expect it's probably going to be at the lowest possible, because I don't imagine there's a whole lot of people taking Waymos, especially Waymos down from South Phoenix to the west edge of Chandler. I don't imagine there's a lot of people doing that at 5 in the morning. But still, like, I have no way of knowing what that's going to cost. And that's a big factor as to whether or not this job is worth keeping. I mean, as it is, I think I'm looking at getting paid $110 per shift. I just got more messages from ShiftSmart telling me there's more shifts available. By the way, how long until my bus? I still can't see it. 39 after. What time is it now? I can't see it because it's so small. It's 39 after right now. I don't see my bus. That's not good. Let me check the app again. Now it says delayed. Oh, typical bus experience here. When I sat down, it showed it was on time and it was going to be here at 12:39. Now it says delayed, scheduled at 12:39. It's going to arrive at 12:45. So I'm looking at waiting another, after I've already waited nearly 20 minutes, I'm looking at waiting another. Oh, it just changed from 12:45 to 12:46. That's awesome. Yeah, looking at waiting another 7 minutes in this heat, which sucks. The bus is moving, though. I'm able to track it. It is at it's between Washington. It's between Washington and Van Buren, headed north on 44th Street. So it'll be here, but not on time. Is that something that just is too much to ask for in Phoenix? Buses that actually run on their scheduled times. This is why I really need to get myself into a car soon. Yeah, I have no way of knowing how much my ride. And there goes the southbound 44. No idea how much my ride is going to cost me to get to that job, due to a pricing structure that I personally feel should be illegal. I don't think it's too much to ask for that businesses state what their rates are and be forced to stick to them at all times. I mean, can you imagine a Circle K did that sort of pricing? Oh, we're busy right now. That thirst buster is going to be $5. What kind of horseshit would that be? And when Kamala Harris says that she's standing against price gouging, she's so vague about it. Like, she doesn't say what she's going to do to stop price gouging. I'd like to hear some specific examples, because if one of those specific examples is to federally outlaw surge pricing, I might be able to get behind that. I'd like to see Trump stand for that. Surge pricing is just wrong on so many levels, and is a violation of the Arizona Department of Weights and Measures laws for livery vehicles. But somehow, if you're categorized as rideshare, which apparently Waymo is, as well as Lyft and Uber, you get away with that. If you're a legit taxi, you don't. On that note, it might behoove me to actually see what it costs to take a taxi and compare it to Waymo. Usually Waymo's quite a bit cheaper than cab, but yeah, that time it wanted $30 to go a mile and a half. I'm sure I would have been only looking about $5 in a VIP taxi, or $6 to do that trip. So anyway, let me look at my schedule on Strava. Nice looking Tesla. Monday, September 16th, first shift scheduled there. I'm only making $118 a day with that job. It's not so much, not considering the burden of transportation that's coming with it. I mean, if I have to pay more than $18 for that ride, I'm making less than $100 a day, so not good. And not that I've managed to do it since I've been back to being a pedestrian. I've yet to pick up more than one Circle K shift a day. In fact, today is the first day I'm going to have more than two things that I'm doing to make money, and first day I'm going to be making more than $100 since I've been back to surviving on foot. But most of next week I've got two shifts scheduled per day, so I'm looking at about $80 a day that I can make through ShiftSmart, and that's with a lot of busing to go from one store and then go to another store and then try to get home. So I don't know, hopefully I can find some better opportunities in this, but so far that's all I've got on my plate. But yeah, I guess I'm going to have to wait a little over a week to find out what that journey's going to cost me, and hopefully it doesn't break the bank.